Do Derwent lightfast colored pencils work better on the Derwent lightfast paper than the polychromos? Or maybe are polychromos even better? So let's find out. So hi guys, I'm happy that you're here again with me. So this is the second part of my Derwent lightfast paper testing. In the last video, I used the polychromos on the Derwent lightfast paper. And because this is 100% cotton paper, I also decided to try other 100% cotton papers like Arches, Fabriano Artistico, and Canson heritage paper. So today I'm going to do the same thing, but the only difference to the last time is that this time I'm using the Derwent lightfast colored pencils, and in the other video I was using polychromos. And there is going to be a third part in which I'm going to work with luminance colored pencils and see maybe those are the best ones. I mean, maybe this paper is the best for those colored pencils, so we will find that out next time. But this time let's concentrate on these four papers and the Derwent lightfast colored pencils. So even though this paper seems quite expensive, I have to say when I compared it to other 100% cotton papers, it was not, or no, it was not more expensive, or even it costed a little bit less than some other papers. So check out the other video. I did put those information there. Maybe I will also show it at the end of the video or this video. I have to find it. So, but yeah, so this paper, as I said for the third time, it's 100% cotton paper. It is a hot pressed. It means it has a smooth surface, and it's acid free, which is important to keep your work from, let's say, from your paper not becoming yellow or changing the color. And it is natural white. So actually, as you see here, this is white. This is more like yellowish paper, so like a natural white, how it's called. So yeah, that is something to look for or look at, because if you do not like yellowish paper, this paper is not for you. So it comes only out in this color, like for example with Fabriano Artistico. In that case you can buy the extra white, which is white or like this one, but in this case you really only get this yellowish beige kind of paper. And as I said, here is my Derwent lightfast colored pencil set. So I will take the same colors I did last time. I took the red and the blue, so I will probably, let me just see, this one is, yeah, it says Derwent the red, strawberry, what else do we have, and cherry. Okay, yeah, I will use this one. It's just a regular red color, and a blue one. I think I prefer this one. This is a sapphire, or this is mid blue. Maybe we will take the mid blue. Yeah, I think I will take the mid blue. And the same as the last time, I will also use the Arches hot pressed watercolor paper, the Fabriano Artistico watercolor paper, and also, which one was it? It was the Canson Heritage watercolor paper, and all of those are 100% cotton. The only difference is that this paper is, they do not call it watercolor paper, so they say it's really made for colored pencils. I'm not really sure. Maybe it can also be used for watercolors. It is thick enough, so it should work, but I'm not really sure about the surface, if it will take up watercolor or not. So maybe that is something I will try, but for now I will focus on the colored pencils. And I am going to use the same paper, so in that way we can really compare the polychromos. So I mean compare the Derwent Lightfast colored pencils on these four papers. As I said, you can check my other video if you want to know how the polychromos performed on this paper, and if the Derwent Lightfast was the best one from these, so check that out. And now let's start with this test. And yeah, something I forgot. Uh, if you guys do not want to see me swatching and doing these tests, you just want to see the end results, write me a comment. I can skip that. I mean, I can do it here without filming. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone is interested and wants to see these steps in between, because sometimes I'm using the zested, the solvent for the colored pencils, and I'm putting another layer on top of that. So maybe someone is interested to see just how it looks with the one layer. And yeah, so let's start. Just leave me a comment if you want to see it like this, or you think I should change something. That would be also good to know. Maybe I'm missing something to test, some more information. Yeah, so just leave me a comment and enjoy the rest of the video. So already after a couple of seconds, I noticed that I chose the wrong color, the wrong blue color, because it was much darker than the polychromos one that I was using. So that's why I switched the colored pencils. I chose another one, the sapphire, and that one is much closer to the polychromos one that I was using. So a couple of times now I said that I do not really like Fabriano Artistico hot pressed watercolor paper for colored pencils, because it has a certain structure on the surface, and for some reason I really don't like how it looks, and I also don't like how the coloring feels when you are putting the colored pencil down. I don't know, some, yeah, you will see now in the close up how the structure looks like, and it really bothers me. I know a lot of people like this paper. I mean, I will also continue using it because I have a lot of it. But you see here, I really do not. I don't like the feel of this structure on the surface of this paper. After some time of coloring, of course, I had to sharpen my colored pencil, and I noticed, so when I wanted to sharpen it, that my sharpeners were too small. So this pencil was not able to fit in the standard sharpener, which was a little bit a surprise. So yeah, this is the first time that I'm using Derwent Lightfast colored pencils. And I was quite surprised because I use the my normal sharpener with polychromos, with my other colored pencils, but they were, both of them, the ones that I have, they were too small for the Derwent Lightfast colored pencils. But fortunately, I do have a bigger sharpener, which is from the Derwent, and I did buy it because, of course, I'm also watching other reviews, and a lot of people were happy with it. But did you see those knives there? So when you put your colored pencil inside, it makes these holes in the wood, and that is something, it disturbs me, really. It destroys the look of my colored pencil. And yeah, I mean, I really don't like it. And also, when I was sharpening with it, it does take a lot of the color pencil away when it's sharpening. Yes, you get a really fine point, but I have the feeling that my colored pencil is like, you use it, how to say it, so you sharpen usually, and then you see that maybe your colored pencil is smaller for half a centimeter, let's say it like that. And with this sharpener, I'm sharpening it, and I have to feel that my colored pencil is smaller for 1 centimeter. So, I mean, I'm exaggerating here, but still, I have the feeling that I'm wasting a lot of the colored pencil. And as I said, those points, those holes that are then made in my colored pencil. Why? I mean, if I'm going to sharpen that colored pencil couple of times, then it will be all with some holes and it will not look nice anymore. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know why. Maybe I have the wrong one. Maybe, again, maybe I just got the damaged one and it's not supposed to be like that, but I don't know. It's, yeah, I mean, of course, I will be using it when I need a really nice, sharp point, but still not really, not my favorite one. Well, I have been talking a lot about the sharpener. Um, what I noticed here when I was coloring with the Derwent lightfast colored pencils is that there were a lot of splotches, parts on the paper where you had a much thicker layer of the colored pencil. That was not the case with the polychromos, at least not on the Derwent lightfast paper. And I was really surprised because I personally, in this case, I like the polychromos more on the Derwent lightfast paper, like 100%. They were so smooth there and completely different than the Derwent lightfast colored pencils. And yeah, I really don't know why that happened. I was actually quite surprised. After another layer of zested on top of the colored pencils, I colored again, but this time only one side with the colored pencil just to see the difference. So when I put another layer on top, and again, also in this case, the results that I got with the polychromos were much nicer than with the Derwent Lightfast. The colors, so the surface when I was putting the polychromos, as you can see up there, it's just like it's so smooth. And on the with the Derwent Lightfast colored pencils, you had, yeah, you can see these small darker points where I was coloring. So I really have no idea why that was happening. Yeah, no idea. I cannot explain it. I was using the same method, the same pressure, the same solvent. So I really don't know why that is happening. But yeah, I can say that for me actually polychromos, if you want to have a really smooth surface, so smooth coloring, then the polychromos are the winner. I'm really sorry for the Derwent Lightfast, but for me, yep, polychromos wins definitely. In the case of smoothness, there was something else, and I'm not sure. Maybe it was the color that I chose, but I had a feeling. So when I was now coloring with Derwent Lightfast colored pencils, I had a feeling that they were much more vibrant after using Zested. So I did the same thing as I was doing for the polychromos, putting some layers of the colored pencil, mixing, then again then zested, and then again colored pencil. And the final result, even if it was not as smooth as the ones that I got with the polychromos, it was much more vibrant. But I cannot say, maybe it was only the color of the color pencils, because I did not really choose 100% identical colors. So maybe that's why in this case the red from the Derwent Lightfast is much stronger and redder than the one from the polychromos. Or maybe really these colored pencils are just much more vibrant than the polychromos ones, because the polychromos in this case, so when I'm comparing them, they seem more muted. than the Derwent Lightfast. But from the other side, as I said, the smoothness when you're coloring with the colored pencils, the polychromos win that one. So yeah, it's like, I think, of course, the best thing would be if you have both of them and then you can just mix them. And because there is no problem mixing these two brands of colored pencils, so that way, if you want to have some really vibrant color, then you can use Derwent Lightfast colored pencils. And otherwise, if you want a smooth, let's say, background or something, then you can use the polychromos for that. I also tried if I can put another layer on top of these colored pencils. So even though I did put, as you saw, couple of layers, I was still able to color over these parts. And then, of course, I tried to use the white colored pencil from the Derwent Lightfast. And in this case, I was actually disappointed. What happened was that the Derwent Lightfast white actually mixed with the color underneath, and that's why it was not really white. So you can see on every single paper that the polychromos white is much better, and it worked much better on these papers than the Derwent Lightfast. The Derwent Lightfast, as I said, it, either it is not that how to say, it's not opaque enough, or because I really had the feeling that actually what is happening is that the white is mixing with the color underneath, and that's why I'm getting this like a pinkish lila white. And in the case of the polychromos, of course, not even there I had the white, but it was standing much more out, and I liked how the result was. So I would say yes, the Derwent Lightfast paper is really good. I cannot deny that. So when I was using polychromos, the polychromos worked amazing on the Derwent Lightfast paper. So I like them much better than on any other paper that I tried. The Derwent Lightfast colored pencils were okay. I mean, they were good, but I was expecting a little bit more because the Derwent Lightfast paper was supposed to be made especially for the Derwent Lightfast colored pencils. So that's why I expected them to be, I don't know, amazing, like something wow. But yeah, what happened was that polychromos looked much better on the Derwent Lightfast paper, and that was a surprise. Here you can see on the arches paper that I was not really able to blend the red one and the blue one from the Derwent Lightfast colored pencils as I was with the polychromos. So I had a much better blending with the polychromos colored pencils. But still, if you have either of these, you will not go wrong. So these are like the toppest of the top artist colored pencils, so they are great. And this review was actually, for me, I wanted to know if this Derwent Lightfast paper, if it pays out, if it's really so good, if you really need to have it. But in the case of the polychromos, yeah, they work really good on all of these four papers, but they were a little bit better on the Derwent Lightfast paper. So yeah, if you do want to use like a really artist grade paper, try the Derwent Lightfast paper, because from the price it costs almost the same. When you calculate the price per sheet, it comes almost at the same as the Fabriano Artistico or the Canson Heritage. I think actually the arches might be even a little bit more expensive than the Derwent Lightfast paper. So yeah, this paper was definitely, I think it's a good product from Derwent. As I said, I'm disappointed that it is not so good with the Derwent lightfast colored pencils, but still for the polychromos, amazing. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.